afternoon, welcome back to my channel, and this is going to be a VR to Callum at the Retro Ghetto. Recently I've seen Eddie, Roller, Xcore and Ross Bahaha. They've both done a VR to this already, and it's modern retro games. I think it was top 10, I don't think I've got 10 here, but I've got quite a few that I'll go through that I think are just absolutely brilliant. I do have to apologise because I've got a bit of a cold, so I've got a wee lime sip. If you didn't understand me before, you've got no chance now, to be honest. So, the first game, and I've got to apologise as well, firstly because I don't know if I'm getting mixed up between modern retro and indie, so I'm pretty sure they're modern retro, but I'll go through them anyway. The first one is the only one I've got physically, and it's Horizon Chase Turbo. Absolutely brilliant game. I know this might not be what the video is about, but for me it's a throwback to like the Outrun games and everything, and them kind of style. But obviously the graphics are a lot better. The soundtrack is absolutely banging, absolutely class. A really fun platinum to go for as well. So I've mentioned this before, like myself, the missus and Jay, we played this on 3-player split screen and we went for the trophies. And we just absolutely we mastered this game, to be honest with you, between the three of us. Like Jay was a little bit young, so he wasn't the best at it, so we just told him to concentrate on grabbing the blue tokens which you had to get as part of a trophy, and then me and Caitlin would try and get the first place on each of the races. It was so good. It was such a good couch co-op multiplayer for us. Absolutely loved it. The second game, so now sorry, I'm going on to all these games here that are all digital purchases and all for my Switch. So I remember way back in the day, I think it was Champion 2D Rob I was watching. I remember commenting once that I thought that I really want, that was before I got a Switch, that I said I really wanted to get a Switch, and the reason I wanted to get a Switch was primarily for this. I wanted to get it for all these modern retro games and just smaller games to play, and I think the Switch is ideal for those types of games. So the first game and the game that I really wanted to get the Switch for was Panzer Paladin. I've still not beaten this game. I've not put too much time into it, to be honest. It is pretty tricky. I've played a couple of levels on it, but it does have a bit of a steep learning curve in a way. It's got the same kind of mechanic as that game Ross mentioned, that Blaster Master. Like, you can get outside your mech and you go as your wee guy or the wee lassie, and you run around and do little puzzles and that, and then you go back to your mech and things like that. Really good, but I need to put more time into it because it was pretty hard. Next one is a very short game. It is Kamiko. Kamiko is like it's almost like a Zelda kind of game. Like, it's top-down view, 8-bit style kind of graphics, and it's got a great soundtrack as well. But the thing is, you've got 3 characters to play as, and you've got to go and seal the spirits between the worlds. And each character takes around, I don't know, like 45 minutes to complete each character. So it's not a long game at all. It's very short, very quick. But it's definitely one that you can pick up really cheap, and it's a lovely little game. Next one is one that I seen ages ago on Pete on a retro tip. He released a video on this ages and ages ago, and it's Demons of Asterburg. Really enjoyed this game, but I got up to the end boss and I just can't beat him. Like, he's bloody tough. He's so tough. But it's not just the end boss it's tough, it's the part getting up to him. So once you've got to kind of go through the castle kind of bit, you've got to jump up these bloody towers and stuff like that, and then you get to the boss. And once you die, once you lose your lives, you go all the way back to the beginning. and it's just bloody solid. But it's a great game. It's got again cracking soundtrack. It's got heavy Castlevania influences, especially when you're in the castle. It just reminds you completely of Castlevania. Ghouls and Ghosts as well. It's got like that kind of aesthetic to it as well when you're out in the little villages and things like that. But Demons of Asterbug, really good game. I need to go back and finish it. Next one is a side-scrolling beat 'em up. Again, there's been loads of these coming out. There's obviously like Shredder's Revenge, which I've just played recently on Netflix Games. I downloaded it on my phone, and it's cool, really cool game. But I need to get it for like PlayStation or something. But yeah, you had Shredder's Revenge, you had Streets of Rage 4, and then what was that one? Final Vendetta. But this one, I've really enjoyed this one, and I don't hear it mentioned that much. And it's the Takeover. It's fantastic. It's so, the graphics are really unique. Really like high res, high detail graphics and things like that. Stunning soundtrack. 3D environments, but on a 2D plane kind of thing. And it's brilliant. You've got all your kind of combos, special moves, 3 characters to play. You can unlock an extra character. I can't mind his name. And then you've got weapons as well. So you hold the shoulder button, R button, and you bring up your pistol and things like that, or you pick up assault rifles and things. It's really cool. It's I don't know if it's for the kind of what's the word I'm looking for, the hardcore beat 'em up kind of fans. I think maybe it's not. I don't know. I think it's really cool, and I think it's worth a play. And again, all these games are really cheap on the eShop. That's the way I kind of play these modern retro. If they're cheap, I'll buy them and I'll give them a go. And sorry, there's a really cool level actually, kind of like Afterburner kind of esque. It's got like you're in a plane, you're flying along. That's a really cool level actually in it. Next one is Steel Assault. So Steel Assault's a very short game. It's not long at all, but it's a beautifully presented 2D run and gun kind of game. It's got a sorry. It's got like a kind of Saturday morning TV show kind of like aesthetic to it, like the kind of intros and the cutscenes and things like that. And then we get to a boss. It's got a nice little splash page where you see like your character versus the boss. It's really good. Tight controls and just brilliant soundtrack as well. I can't even remember. I did beat it, but I can't remember how many levels. I think there's maybe only like 6 levels or something. Can't really remember, but it is really good. Definitely worth a go. And I'm sure I saw it was either Champion 2D Rob or it was Retro Ghetto that picked it up physically not too long ago. Or it was probably both of them. I can't remember. But Steel Assault is absolutely brilliant. Next one is a shmup. I think it was Eddie that recommended this or highlighted this. It must have been Eddie because it was a shmup. He loves recommending the shmups, and it's Rigid Force Redux. This is a cool horizontal shmup. It's not too hard. It's quite. If I can get through it, then anybody can get through it. To be honest with you, it's got great visuals, great aesthetic, and it's got nice kind of like build up to the levels as well with your little AI character telling you what's happening, where you're going and what you need to do. And you can change the direction of your bullets. That's been on a lot of shmups, but I just really liked it in this one. There's 3 different power-ups you can get as well. But it's a really good introduction to shmups. Sorry. Like if you're not good at them like me, then this is one you should really look into picking up. I think it was I'm sure this game was only £1 on the eShop when I got it, and it was really cool. And then the last one, oh, I'm so sorry. And then the last one was one that I was so upset that Retro Ghetto didn't mention this one, because it's a cracking game, and I know that he's played through it. And it's Kaze and the Wild Masks. This game is fantastic. Honestly, it's so good. It's got a gorgeous art style to it, and it's got point perfect platforming. Recently with the Game Club 52, sorry, we've been playing Donkey Kong Country 3, and man, that game is so bloody sluggish, and so stiff. And then I played Kazi today just to kind of get some footage of it, and man, that game is just responsive and tight, and oh, it's a great 16-bit esque platformer. And then once you do finish the game, you've got the options of going through it again on time trials, and time trials are tough. That's where the kind of challenge comes in, that's where the replayability comes in. Great game. I did manage to get 100% on it, but you can 100% the game before doing the time trials, so I don't know if you got up to 110% or 120%, I'm not too sure once you do the time trials. But great game, absolutely brilliant. And you get all the different masks to kind of like be different animals and do different kind of things in the levels, like flying, and then you get the wee lizard guy that just turns it into an auto runner. You get the shark. It's a class game, absolutely class. But I don't know how many was there. I think there was 7 or 8, but those are my choices for modern retro. And the cool thing is that Callum did a video, Ross did a video, Eddie did a video, and like everyone's picked different games. In fact, there is one more game I just popped into my head there that I wanted to mention that's very, very modern retro. I didn't play it. Jay played it when he was younger, and the missus played it with him to help him. And it's not even on a console, it's on the iPad, and it's Stranger Things. Stranger Things was a fantastic little modern retro game. If I can get any screenplay of it or something, I'll put it up here as well. I just remember Jay and Caitlin playing that constantly on the iPad. You kind of like touched where you wanted to move, and then you had the different characters. You had Dustin, he'd throw out like little puddings or something like that, and then Lucas with the slingshot, Nancy with the baseball bat. It was a really cool looking little modern retro game. I don't know if many people have played it because it was on the iPad. I don't think it was on any consoles, but that's a little honourable mention. But anyway, thank you very much for watching, and take care. Cheers.